In 1975, Jamaican reggae artist Burning Spear, aka Winston Rodney, released his third album, the Island Records release, Marcus Garvey. And the following year, he released a dub version of that album titled Garvey's Ghost. And from that album, the track Reggaelation. Already about 4 layers I can take apart here. I really like the vibe. I like that plunge of the chord and well, I'll just take apart the sounds one by one. That echoey guitar. Bit of a dropout. We got that bass line, though, pretty like crafty. That kind of envelopey sound that comes and goes. I love the way that kind of echoey, kind of light reverb of that thin like guitar tone, how it interacts with that bass line, that crafty. Yeah, just a choice placement of horns and just it's such great separation of instruments in here, like tonal clarity, and yet at the same time it's got that quaint production that just takes you back to another time, like tropical mid-70s. God, what's that sound effect they're putting like on that one instrument? I guess it's yeah. How are they getting that? I love that guitar tone. It's so like early '60s, kind of somewhat reminiscent of surf, of twang, of twangy early '60s sounds. I also hear kind of like an early Meters influence, but then again, I hear that influence in a lot of like Jamaican music from the time period, which makes it kind of strange that the influence what didn't return. I've talked about that in other videos. How it was strange how American funk bands of the '70s weren't influenced at all by reggae, despite the fact that reggae was kind of a Jamaican take on U.S. funk. It was basically a progression from the ska blue beat of the 1960s with an infusion of like American funk and R&B influences. Partially, that partially covers it anyway. That piano here, just yeah, light piano. Oh, the way those three interact, the bass, the way it just kind of like bounces, pauses, bounces, pauses, echoing guitar, just kind of like filtering in ever so slightly. Those horns, just with their choice placements per like bar. I really like the chord progression in this too. The starting chord, like I think I'm hearing. I'm hearing like a 7. Something about that change where it kind of plunges, like it's like a bar of A, or no, well, like two, 1 and 2 of A, and then dun, and that change right in there. Yeah, I think it's going A D G A, A7, like A7, because there's a slight kind of dull note in there too. There's kind of like an added tonality in that A. I don't know. It doesn't feel forced if I try and put a G over that A. Oh, just so tingly, so kind of like spidery, that guitar tone, those little notes. Oh, even the horns have got a little bit of that echo to them. Such like a kind of breezy, kind of hazy vibe here. Yeah, yeah. It's amazing. The tonal separation of the instruments is clear throughout it. You can follow each individual instrument and follow their path along this, but at the same time, it's not. It doesn't have like some sheen. It's not too like overproduced. It and so it has that quaintness, that kind of misty vibe that makes, well, the 70s so ingratiating, so irresistible. So this track corresponds to the Reggaelation corresponds to the Marcus Garvey song "Resting Place." And this is quite a peaceful tropical resting place, to my ears anyway. I'd like to think of it as like resting, like as in just taking a rest rather than what. But then again, the other meaning, it puts kind of like a peaceful spin on the general use of that phrase. And I love how tracks like this, they fade out just in all their quaint beauty and just vibe. Yeah, that tropical. But it's like you just kind of like wish it would come back, or it could have gone on like another 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and I would have been happy. Could almost just play it over again. Let's hear another track, similar mood anyway, from the album Brain Food. And now once again we got some kind of like bendy, thin guitar that just, and tinkly little piano. And a little bit of organ, a little bit of pipey organ kind of in the background. I'd say a bit more of a persistent rhythmic figure in this one, a bit more kind of frontal. Hear the use of that hi-hat, they're really driving it here. The guitar is taking out the chordal parts are kind of taking on an almost crickety sound. Kind of a scratch. I love those moments. Just oh, hear that bass? That was quite a bass move right there. Like really kind of elevated the track. Gave it a bit of a kick. Kind of background, sort of faint, slightly shimmery horn tones. Did you hear that whistle? I love that squeezed guitar tone. Oh, the way that that was a great way to kind of like dig a little melody out of these. A very simple chordal backdrop. It's basically going G, F. I think it might be going from like G7 to F, suspended third maybe. I just get the sense that there's some extra kind of notes going on. The fluttering of that flute. I hear the way that guitar just kind of like blurs at times, just throws these notes out that I almost kind of like cry one moment and just squeal the next. I love that doom 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 doom, that kick right there again. Yeah, we heard it from the bass a bit earlier. There's so much. While it might seem kind of like all is one, kind of like a simple piece, there's so much detail going on here. There's so many little instruments doing their little tiny fill, where each one of them contributing a little adds up to something quite full and very atmospheric, very just evocative of just beautiful tropical beaches and vegetation and bodies of water, bright blue ocean, you know. Yeah, like sitting around with like margaritas or, you know, with tropical drinks and fruit drinks this track corresponds to the Marcus Garvey song, Give Me. The fade out is a long one. Another one of those pieces, just beautiful chords, love the little details, just everything counts approach, and just the overall beauty, the overall summery tropical vibe, the color that conveys, the nature, the exotica. Yeah. Burning Spear, Brain Food, and before that, Reggaelation from his 1976 album, Garvey's Ghost, a dub version of the 1975 album, Marcus Garvey, respectively the third and fourth albums by Burning Spear, aka Winston Rodney, yeah. Yeah, it's actually yeah. So, and unless some of you have always assumed that Burning Spear was a reggae band, they're actually uh, it's actually an artist, but we have got some talented people on board. Let's see. Oh God, the list of credits is like this big. And let's see. Trumpet, Bobby Ellis. Trombone, Vincent Gordon. Flute, Carlton Samuels. Alto sax, Herman Marquis. Tenor sax, Richard Hall. Piano, Tyrone Downey. Piano, clavinet, organ, Bernard Towder Harvey. Yeah, some of these have kind of like monikers too. Guitar, Earl Smith. Rhythm guitar, Valentine, Tony Chin. Bass, Robbie Shakespeare. Also bass, Aston Barrett. Drums, Leroy Wallace. Yes, great big ensemble brought together for this. For more Rubies and Sapphires from the catalog of Burning Spear, see the directory of albums by Jamaican artists linked in the description below for Red Hot Tracks and Purples from this and other Burning Spear albums, as well as many other reggae artists from Jamaica, as well as other styles of music from the island nation, as well as surrounding areas, because it's actually a Caribbean musical directory. Although it's about I would say about 85% of it is Jamaican artists, and then a few like from like Trinidad, Tobago, and the Lesser Antilles and such. Like and subscribe and follow me on social media and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about this. The two tracks we just heard, the lyrics, the no, well not the lyrics, but the vibe, the sound, the beauty of it all, the interplay. And just that overall the mood that these tracks convey. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear travel trimaximalist, signing off.